Aloha and welcome in. I am Kapualani, and this is your timeless collective general reading here. So, just keeping in mind that some messages may resonate, some may not. But as always, take what does resonate and leave the rest behind. So I'm going to open up space, continue to open up space, I should say, with some sound healing. So I invite you to connect to your breath. And as you inhale, I invite you to call in your spirit guides and spirit teams of ancestors, your higher self, your higher power, Mother Earth, so forth. And as you exhale, releasing anything and everything that no longer serves, giving thanks, gratitude, and appreciation. All right. So let's begin. Breathing deeply, fully in through the nose. And exhaling with a ha or a sigh through the mouth. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Um, I'm present to a I want to say heaviness, but I don't necessarily mean to say heaviness in a bad way. Part of what I'm getting for some, so hopefully, this sticks. Whatever footwork you've been doing, whatever back work you've been doing, like the back end, um, it's like you've been doing a lot, and that's part of the heaviness that I feel. And now you may feel like, well, what am I going to do with all of this stuff? Like, I've gathered all these supplies, but where am I going to put it? Like, you know what I mean? And spirits just saying that there will be a time and a place for you to continue with the process. It's kind of like if you're going to bake a cake, right? You need to make sure you have all the ingredients. So you gather everything together and, do I have enough of these ingredients and whatnot before you start to actually put the ingredients together. It's like you're not even at the point where you're assembling the cake yet, right? Some maybe. But with the downloads that I'm getting, it's right now, it's been all about just gathering your resources, gathering and doing the back end to help for what's coming next. All right. So that message is just something that was coming through before we even get to the cards here. And sorry if that was kind of loud with tapping these cards here. But let's see, Spirit, what is the core message? The core message or concern at this time? Thank you. All right, so I'm not gonna go with these other cards. We'll flash them. Spirit, thank you. We'll flash them. We got the 9 of Wands. So you may be like, you may have that wounded healer aspect, or maybe be able to relate to that. If you are struggling with any form of PTSD or CPTSD, this may also be a strong message for you. Don't worry, like you're like, nah, I don't have PTSD, Kapualani. This is just a sign of exhaustion. This is a sign of like what I was saying, where things feel heavy, but I don't mean that in necessarily a bad way, but heavy where it's like, okay, we're a little bit worn down here. So this is also your opportunity to reflect on how you got to where you are. I tend to say that when I see the 9 of Wands because it is action based. All right. But let's see what's behind this 9 of Wands, the Queen of Wands and the 5 of Wands. You have been putting forth that effort. Okay. You've been putting forth that effort. I'm going to do something a little bit different in the spread today. So the struggle is real. Part of what I'm getting. If you are a fire sign, this could definitely be a reading meant for you. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, this could be for you for sure. Feeling very exhausted, been putting a lot of effort into your future, into your goals, into yourself even, but not that you haven't quite. Spirit's like, yeah, the results might be a little bit lacking right now. Like there's been a lot of effort, a lot of like having pushed through, and now you're kind of like maybe feeling a little bit even on edge, a little edgy, a little bit like you just kind of, you know what, I don't really care. Say what you want to say, but I don't really care. Like, I've heard enough. I've done enough. I've heard enough. I'm over it. I just want to move on with my life. Like, that kind of a thing or message is what I'm getting. um so this Nine of Wands, what have we been working toward? What are these lessons, maybe, Spirit? What is this about? You see the back end here. Maybe also, I feel like if you've had any kind of a struggle or conflict, whether this deals with others or just kind of your own sort of battle to like push forth, and like if it's working out, right, that has nothing to do with other people, but we compare ourselves, whether it's that we're comparing ourselves to others or we're comparing ourselves to what we see in the mirror, is what I'm getting. And so that's where it may have, hit you a little bit with feeling secure and confident in yourself, in your gifts, in your talents, in your appearances, for example. For some, in your health, in your level of energy. It's kind of feeling, geez, man, is that what this is? Like, what's up with that? That's like a really strong message that I'm getting. So, Spirit, what is up with that? Again, what is this Nine of Wands here to teach us? What are the lessons with this Nine of Wands, Spirit? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Sarah got a lot to say right now. So we got the Page of Cups, but yeah, oh my gosh, Page of Cups, the Fool. These are very in sync with each other. That childlike energy. It's telling us and it's reminding us that better times are ahead. Not only that. Okay. Wow, this is really funny. I don't know if you've been having any kind of like memory stuff coming up. I don't know, I heard memory loss. I don't know if and I'm not saying that like to be funny or joking, but that could just have been from pure exhaustion. Even with the memory loss, I mean, it's not necessarily even like a literal, like, oh yeah, you have memory loss, but it's something about letting go of the past. Like, I'd rather just, I'm ready to begin. I'm ready to get past all of this. I'm ready to close out that cycle of hardship, of struggle, of proving myself. And mean, not that you have to prove yourself to anyone, but proving yourself in terms of like, I can do this, I can climb the mountain. You know what I mean? Like, and here we have the Fool at the top of the cliff. And this Page of Cups, so this is really about embracing new beginnings, surrendering to that sense of childlike wonder and abandon in terms of guiding you. Okay, I'm gonna just, this is a little bit interesting in how these cards are coming through right now. There are not only new beginnings that are available for you and to you at this time, but I feel like with these energies, okay, especially when we got the Fool and the Page of Cups, yes, a new cycle for sure, a new way of life, a new way of being. There is something of a refresher coming through. The Fool is Aquarius. Is interesting because I was thinking New Year, and like I had a little bit of memory lapse myself. I was like, oh yeah, the Fool does resonate with that Aquarian energy. So there is something about this turning point from going from this year into next year, even. So it's a little bit ahead of ourselves here. Okay, that's going to be a little bit more significant. So if you're wondering, okay, like when am I going to be seeing this new start, whatnot, I'm not saying that you have to wait till the ending of, you know what I mean, the year going into next year, because I know Aquarius season isn't until like next year. Sorry about that, y'all. But I feel like, okay, be open to the signs, pay attention to your gut vibes, even if you can't quite discern what it's saying or what the messages are trying to convey to you. This is going to be a time to turn things around, and it's almost like out with the old, in with the new. Okay, out with the old, in with the new. So let's get some advice here. How can we make use of this Fool energy? Yeah, something's going on, you're ready to move on. It's not just, oh, something's going on, but you are ready to move on here. There's okay, whatever hasn't been working for you or whatever's been depleting or unfulfilling, it's not just, yeah, you're ready to move on from that. You are, but you are moving on from that. That's what this is. You will be moving on from this. Okay, you may even be kind of looking toward new or different ways to experience fulfillment, or to like maybe even looking at different aspects to channel your energy into. I feel like this is a time where, I don't know why, but I'm hearing if you're feeling like parched energetically, it's like to quench your thirst. You need to quench your thirst. There's going to be new ways of experiencing joy and, again, that word fulfillment coming up. Okay, so what are we moving on toward? This is about opening up also and letting go the things that, again, have been stagnated. Like, you've been putting your effort into it, you haven't been seeing any results. This is that sign to just brush it off, be that fool, let go, try not to let that past energy linger, and just keep moving forward. Okay, keep moving forward. What are we moving forward toward? Or what can assist us with this process of letting go and moving on? What can assist us in this process, in this advice? Look at that. We've got the Queen of Cups now. So, spirit with the fire energy, action, and the feeling energy. With the water here, we've got Queen of Cups, we've got King of Cups. Okay, so the Queen and King. Whoa, okay. Huge gear shift here. Because and sorry for the pauses, it's just all the messages coming through. There could be a significant partnership on the horizon. You guys know, if you are a regular of mine, you know that I like to keep things general, because it could be about love, it could be about work, it could be about life in general for anyone watching. But in this case, this is what I'll say. There is a new beginning for you on an emotional level, and potentially even some shifts that are happening for you with your health. All right. When I see feminine, masculine, I always start from the inside out. So this gives me a feeling of balance and understanding. You are ready for this. You know where to put your energy, where to kind of withhold your energy. It's about not only establishing boundaries, but standing firmly in them. Okay. So on a personal level, if you have had like where it seems like, oh no, they're my best friend, but it's like frenemy type of thing, this is where you're like, you know what, I'm tired of like comparing, and I'm tired of like feeling a certain way, I'm worn down, so I'm ready, I'm just gonna be like in my zone, shielding and protecting yourself emotionally, and just being like, you know what, that's their stuff, this is my stuff, and I'm gonna be able to discern it. Because you may be someone also who is very sensitive and easily affected by the feelings and emotions of others around you. So this is a time when you're really going to be moving on and moving up, like moving on up to the east side. Sorry, I couldn't resist. But yeah, so it's kind of like, if we have the Eight of Cups in terms of moving on, and we're like, okay, what is this about, and what can we do with moving on? What are we moving toward? This royalty energy, this energy of being more responsible and self-disciplined in terms of saying, you know what, I'm not going to be so not short-sighted, but short-tempered in terms of thinking of the bigger picture. It's less about instant gratification here and more about long-term results and long-term perspective and how you're looking at things. Do you just want something that's going to be a quick flash in the pan, or do you want a full-fledged meal? Like, you know what I'm saying? And for some people, like, well, I'm hungry right now, so I just need this. But yeah, but if you had the choice in front of you, which one would you pick, right? Would you pick $10 right now, or would you pick $10,000 that's going to be over a period of time? And we're not talking like 20 years here. You know what I mean? This is just like what Spirit is saying in this particular cycle, in this particular message, where you are particularly focusing your energies. And this is just the week, the week that we're looking at, whether it's the week ahead, whenever you're seeing this, okay? That's what we're looking at. What will this level of Queen King energy, and by the way, substantial partnership, I don't want to forget that. Okay. So if you also have been just tired of like the blah 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 with being single, or having just those toxic, manifesting toxic stuff or whatever, that's where this is saying like, you're ready to move on to someone who could be a more divine counterpart, who can instinctively, intuitively, empathically resonate with you and see you, this, you know what I mean, standing on the same, like, we're at the same level here, sorry about that, but you're resonating at the same level, you're resonating at the same vibe. This is someone who has done their inner work as well. Okay. And this could relate to, yes, this is more because of the water here, emotion. But that doesn't have to equate to a romantic partnership if that's not, you know what I mean? Something that you're looking at right now. But otherwise, I like what we're seeing there. So give us a bit of more insight here. What is this Queen and King of Cups? What is the message that they are conveying? We've got, a lot of doubles today, or triples. Excuse me, Spirit. I don't know what we're going to do with the next spread. We're running out of cards here. I'm just kidding. I don't know, really, though. We got the Devil. So, okay. Water at times, especially when we look at, these energies, overcoming toxic negative behaviors and patterns, choices. Okay, you're ready to start taking ownership. Not that you're just ready to taking ownership of your choices and decisions, but really understanding, again, like the Nine of Wands. How did I get here? Is it because maybe I was a bit more short-sighted, or like not intentionally even trying to seek instant gratification, but just not having the patience to allow things space and time to develop? So that's where the Devil is like, we're not, it's about learning and overcoming from, again, maybe rushing ahead of yourself, maybe fixating too much on the end results but not honoring the process. The Devil does relate to work, so we're overcoming that Devil energy. Page of Wands, even with the Fool, so there is a space for new beginnings, there is a space for new perspective, new experiences. Again, you are encouraged to explore, open up to that sense of childlike wonder and abandon here. Okay, open up to that, because it's what's going to serve you inevitably. All right, that's what's going to serve you. But this Devil energy, this Six of Wands, this Page of Wands energy, yeah, you're overcoming limiting behaviors, limiting patterns, toxic patterns, so forth. All right, you're starting to open up to this space of self mastery, especially as it relates to manifestation. Okay, this could be an indication of a career like focus, and that kind of a thing, because the Devil does relate to work and career. Excuse me, Capricorn energy specific here. One of the things that I'm also tapping, Capricorn season could be a significant turning point. That's going to be end of the year, beginning of next year, December, January time period, if you're looking for timing on things. So there is something with, again, like I was saying earlier, that shift from this year 2025 to 2026. Okay, but overcoming the monkey mind, overcoming restlessness, overcoming impatience. All right, and focusing on how you can better channel that energy of like, you know what I'm saying? So all right, Spirit, let's get some, I was going to say, guidance advice. Yep. Self empowerment, the Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy. So we are reclaiming our power. We're standing in that self empowerment. 0 to 1 here. We are really recognizing and harnessing our free will energy, that solar plexus chakra. All right. That's just all about yeah, free will, excuse me, and how to utilize that free will, understanding that, there are some areas that may not be ready for you to even plant a seed. Like I said this recently in a session, so if you're watching this, awesome, then the message goes doubly for you. But if the ground is frozen, does it make sense to plant a seed in that ground right now? No. And by overcoming those self-limiting, by recognizing and overcoming and taking control of your own limiting thoughts, behaviors, um and what's it called, habits and patterns, especially becoming aware, self-aware, drawing boundaries, enforcing those boundaries, okay, where you may have temptation to slip up on something or whatnot. This is all leading up to you overcoming that. Okay, that Magician, we're becoming self-empowered here. So self-empowered to do what is the what is the end result here, the outcome of that energy, Spirit? Okay, why are you guys doing this to me? The Star, Hope, Aquarius energy. Yep. opening with that Aquarius? Almost. And then we got, look at that, the Nine of Wands to the Ten of Wands here. And then finally a bit of Pentacles. We didn't see them in the minors, but we're seeing it now. So something that you've been working on and developing that has been a bit of a burden, it's coming to an end. You're closing out these cycles of burden and the effort that you've been putting into something. It's giving you that time and space, like I said earlier, to reflect on how far you've come, how you've gotten to where you are. Seven of Pentacles, something is in development, but this is also an opportunity to ask ourselves, right? Based on where I have been investing my time, energy, and value, has it been worthwhile? Is it worth my effort? Is it worth my time? Is it worth my energy? Are the costs outweighing the benefits, or is it the other way around? Are we coming into a neutral position? All right. So think about it in that respect. And then we've got this star energy here. Okay. Again, where we are restoring a sense of hope and faith. We're in a space to really stand in that energy. And with the star also, it's healing, right? We have this space to heal. So where you may have felt very discouraged or overwhelmed, underappreciated, this is that space to just mend. Okay. And to, I'm almost even hearing make sense of certain things that were maybe a struggle. And I don't think that it's something you need to make sense of right this second, right this minute, anything like that. But I feel like that's inevitably what's going to happen. And this also puts you in a position, whatever it is that you might, even if you're wanting to gain more popularity, if you're wanting to gain more, like limelight, for example, if you're wanting to gain attention for your work or for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, there's a very strong likelihood of that as well, some recognition for your work in some way. But remember that it's like we always got to just recognize ourselves, right? Self-validating is what matters most in that kind of a situation, I want to say. Sorry, I want to kind of like, there's something with the cards. I mean, you guys know me. If you watch, you always see me fidgeting with the cards. Um, Something that you like, so your goals and what you're working toward, there's a strong possibility of either some kind of a recognition. Oh, thank you, Spirit, as well as it's saying whatever it is that you are working on, working to manifest or co-create, this is about, again, surrendering to the journey, but understanding that what you put into it, your perspective right here, right now, that power of now type of vibe in terms of the action, the inspired action that you're taking in the moment to attract, to manifest the desired results, is being not just restored, but you're being divinely guided. Okay. You may not know all of the steps right here and now. You may not know what opportunities may even pop up, but it's there and it's underway. Okay. And I just get this feeling of recognition. If your work has anything to do, again, with being in front of the camera, or like if your work, it's not about you being in front of the camera, but your work is center stage, there's something here about stepping out. There's something, and I feel that this is something that's going to be developing over a period of time. And again, Aquarius season may have some significance in terms of that turning point, gaining a bit more traction, seeing some results. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to just direct my focus. Sorry for that quick to the animal spirit guides here. But I want to remind us that there will be a part 2 to this reading at kapualani.com/extensions. I also invite you to schedule your session with me if you'd like to dive deeper into your own reading, your own personal situation. I'm here for you at kapualani.com. But let's go ahead and shuffle for the animal spirit guides. This is the wild unknown, and I'm going to give my downloads and insights here, and then in part 2 we're going to read from the book. Okay, so spirit, animal spirit guides, and we're also going to pull some yes no questions with the angels, romance angels. Okay, so 2 extra oracle decks also that we're going to be bringing into part 2. But what is the animal spirit guide message for us at this time? Thank you. There we go. Peacock. So there's pride with Peacock. There's this energy of also attraction is what I'm present to. I get masculine vibes for some reason with this peacock energy. I get this energy also of protecting one's space and stepping out. I'm really tuning in. You see how like the feathers, right, from the peacock, and then the stars here. So there's something connecting here, even with like the colors that I'm getting. With this peacock energy. I don't know why, but I'm getting something with, again, it's like territory. I don't know if peacocks are territorial or whatnot. I'm sorry, but I'm just getting territory and pride in oneself, and how you show up also. But we will see what the animal spirit guide book says in terms of what's coming through for peacock. But I thank you so much for being here. And again, for those who are interested, I will see you in the extension. You can find the link to that in the description box below, or I will leave a link in the comments. But I'll see you in part 2, where we're going to dive deeper into the messages, the core messages coming up here. All right. So take care. Till soon.